continuing on with the Jensen, we thought this conversation was so good. We had to keep it going with the part 2. So you were with us as we talked about texting generally. We laughed, we shared some different things with each other, and even discovered some things across the generations that we do differently. But as a Generation X, Millennial, and Gen Zer who are single, we are about to get into texting and dating. What is the first thing that comes to mind, Natasha?
We're in modern times. It's a different way of dating.
Modern times. What's the first thing you think when you hear texting and dating, Kennedy?
The way that you communicate with one another. I like
Because
the
that's always been a thing for you, right? It's always
yeah.
been texting for you. And has it always been texting for you? Natasha, when you were 16, 17, 18, did you have a cell phone?
I had a cell phone, but it was much more talking back then.
Much
Or
more
like
talking?
that, what do they call it? AIM? Yeah, on the pad, I don't
Ooh,
know. AIM is
AIM
like
is that AOL? What is AIM? Remind me what.
had dial-up internet. It's a chat. MySpace years too. So yeah, lots of phone time back in the
Well, let's
60s.
start off with that. Let's say you meet someone out. Is it okay for them to contact you through text the first time opposed to calling you?
Absolutely. That's the norm now, especially in the initial communication stages for sure.
Tell
That's
me
fine.
why.
Because I think you're just getting to know each other. It's not as intense. Sometimes you can feel a person out via text. Sometimes a guy can be really cool. You're like, oh, I got to FaceTime him. I got to see him. Or can be kind of a jerk and kind of dry and like lack communication skills. So you kind of determine like, do I want to talk to this guy? But I feel like you just kind of know quickly. But I think it's fine. Just at the beginning.
I would agree. I don't mind if someone was to text me if we
Mm-hmm.
were to just me. I find that at this age, and because of my professional life, I spent so much time on the phone. I absolutely have no problem texting. My family, to be honest, gets on because they tell you I'll write a dissertation or a book report through text. So I don't have a problem with that at all. So how do you find a happy medium between I'm struggling now and I'm trying to do better with this in 2024. I've been telling anybody that will listen, I'm going to be more intentional about this. But with regards to dating, how do you find a happy medium in being too available with regards to your responses? Because I grew up and I come from an age, I don't think I had my first cell phone 1999, 2000. I'm like 2 years out of college. And so I am not in a space. I'm in a space you left your house, somebody called you. If you weren't there, you didn't get the call, you didn't talk to them. And if they left a message on the answer machine, a lot of people I knew grew up didn't even have answer machines. You don't even know they call. You just gotta wait so they call back and hear it again. So I think coming from that, it's this urgency. I don't like that sense of urgency or that sense of entitlement that because I text you, I know you seen it. I know you need to respond. No, I really don't have to. I can respond when I want to. So how do you find a balance? Immediate need to do you take a certain approach like I don't want to do this too soon, or is just something that just naturally comes for you guys? How about you, Kennedy?
I think I just respond. If I see it, I respond. If I see it and I end up getting distracted, it kind of is what it is. Just know I'm gonna get back to you. For me, I'm a bad texter, so I get back to you on a FaceTime call or a long regular call or whatever. But I don't really get too much into the urgency. Like I know we have lives outside of our phones, so you busy as long as you text me back. But be consistent with what you do. Like if I'm somebody that you want to pursue, then obviously text me back. Like don't be trying to act like I wanted you first or something. Like come on. There needs to be some type of consistency there. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you.
I don't get too much into that.
And we know that you're not a great texter because you don't always text your auntie back when your auntie texts you. Uh-huh.
Mm.
Uh-huh. How about you, Natasha?
I agree with both of you ladies that sometimes we become beholden to like our phones and we feel like, oh, we have to answer. But I think like to preserve self-care, you don't have to answer right away. And I also think when it comes to dating, if you're the man and you're pursuing me, you are never going to be the center of my world. Immediately, right? You're not
She
my
has
husband.
spoken. She has spoken.
My world is about me. So whatever I want to do and putting my needs first, that's what I'm going to do. So if I don't text you back right away, you're gonna be okay. If I like you, you're gonna know, because I feel like I don't have to be like fake mysterious where like, some girls that get on the internet are like, when a guy texts you, wait 5 hours. I mean, girl,
Hey,
I'm 36. Like, if I like you, you're gonna know I like you. I'm gonna answer you back.
Okay. So let's get into pet peeves when it comes to texting and dating.
This guy I was actually talking to, who I immediately cut off after 2 days.
Did you say 2 days? And did you put that immediately in there?
immediately.
Immediately no. Immediately no.
Immediately no to you, everything that will ever happen between us, because I know they're using this term called sassy man. He was sassy because he was not only being a jerk, but he was also supporting his text with a lot of eye roll gifts. And like, I could take a good gift, like if you can use it the right way, or like,
Okay.
if you're actually funny. But I wanted to let him know, like, you are a jerk and you're not funny. So it's a lot of these gifts, and I was like, absolutely, you're sassy. I get what the girls say when they say that he's a sassy man.
Yeah, no, that's apocalypse right now. Like we
We're in a
saying,
what, Kennedy?
an apocalypse, a
Sassy
sassy.
man.
What does that even help for anyone who's listening that may not, what do you mean by sassy?
You don't know how to regulate your emotions, and sometimes it almost feels like you're talking to another woman. He's just always trying to clap back and snap back and have the last word, and he's real nitpicky. Dudes usually know how to keep their composure, be respectful, but it's like, oh, I feel like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends.
Kennedy, let me know, what's a pet peeve of yours with regards to texting and dating?
If you're like saying that you're busy, like I said, I'm a bad texter.
Okay.
So you let me know that you're busy, but then you're on Instagram, like liking pictures. I see you on Twitter tweeting. Like you're not that busy. So what's going on?
Now that's
Obviously.
different if they say that you're busy, but that goes back to my inquiry about the immediateness. Like I'm still in the space of, just because you text me, does that mean I have to answer right then and there? Now that's different. You said if they tell you they're busy, I understand it because they're saying they're busy. I don't have to respond to you immediately just because you text me, and then we'll comment if I put something on Instagram, Facebook, be like, "Why you ain't respond to my text yet? I just hit you up. You ain't said." I'm like, "Wait,
No,
what?" Like, to me, it's kind of like the audacity in that. I do not like that.
Yeah, no, don't text under my picture. But I'm just saying, like, if you tell me that you're busy, okay, cool. But you're on Twitter and you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, just say you don't want to talk right now. It's not that serious. Don't tell me
Right.
you're busy, then you on social media. It's
Right.
not that deep.
My pet peeves are, don't send me any sexually explicit photos of yourself. I've experienced that before, and I think that's an immediate red flag, because I feel like, guys feel like, oh, I can get away with it. Oh my God, it's really classless. And I also hate when guys say, send, or like, what do you have on right now? Let me see.
Let me see what you're wearing. Oh my God.
Send me a pic of you.
Did
I
you
said,
imagine somebody in their 50s saying that to you? Somebody in their 50s saying that to you. It's
oh,
like,
I'm like, you're not my husband. I'm in my private space. Why do I have to send you a real-time photo of me in a bra and some shorts, or send me a photo of you? You saw my picture, like, or hit my gram. I'm not about to just send you a photo of me and my scarf and my glasses. Are you kidding? It's annoying, and I especially think in the early stages, like, it's too much. Just
too much. I want to talk about something serious via text. I absolutely don't want to talk about something serious through text. That is a pet peeve, especially if you're upset and I don't know you're upset, so it's completely catching me off guard. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to abuse that a lot, so that's definitely come with growth on my part. But I feel like it's a cowardly way to discuss something, especially if you're mad or upset. Just pick up the phone and tell me you're mad or upset, but do not drop something very serious over text. And now I have to try to figure out, because one or two words can totally change what something is saying in text. And sometimes you end up in arguments because of one or two words that actually weren't even meant. Well, let's just not do that. Let's just talk about it. That's when I want to get away with it. What say ye? Let's start with you, Kennedy.
I don't know. I feel I'm the same way. I don't want to talk about anything serious through text, but at the same time, for me, I'm the type of person where I need to take a moment and think about what I'm going to say because,
Okay.
but
You would drop it in
at the end of
text?
the day, yeah, I would drop it in text. But at the end of the day, like, of course, like we'll follow up through a FaceTime or in person and have that conversation and go through the emotions. But I just can't, like, if you ask me something on the spot, I can be feeling the type of way, but because it's kind of hard for me to verbally communicate my feelings
Okay.
with certain things, I just need to internalize it first, write it down, and then I can actually communicate how I feel.
So let's talk about times, ladies. If you just met someone, what's an inappropriate time to be texting you? When should that stop be? And if you do even know the person, is there still an appropriate or inappropriate time to be texting?
I don't know. I'm a night owl, so you texting me and I'm up at 1 a.m. is not. I'm not taking that any type of way. Now, if you're on some crazy stuff, talking about what you on,
What you
uh,
wearing? What you got
yeah,
on?
you just don't even mind
Okay.
texting my phone with all that. But
Okay. Okay.
I don't mind us like up chopping it up like at 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, a kiki keying. Like I have no problem with doing that, but it just depends on what your intentions are and what you're actually talking about,
But is
pretty
there
much.
really an expectation that somebody you're going to have a conversation at 1 a.m. in the morning? Is it? Am I
I
being
mean,
wired
if
too
we're
tightly?
like,
Like, is there really an expectation? And you know, I have insomnia, so I'm up all the time. But I don't want you to text me at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. I feel like it's not that big of a deal with the texting if we continue in the conversation. Like, yeah, I just woke up. Da, 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 like,
Okay. Okay.
but I agree with you in a sense of like you texting me to come over at 1 in the morning. Of course, come on.
What'd you say, Natasha?
It's important to, when I'm first dating someone, to like set the tone. So I feel like if you're texting me at 2 or 3 in the morning, whether it's like casual or something a little bit more spicy, I'm not going to answer you, because for you to assume that I'm up at 2 or 3 in the morning, it's like, okay, you can't just like text me whenever. I think it's more of like just a, not saying, I don't think it's disrespectful, but I just like to set the tone of the relationship. Like you had all day to text me,
Okay.
could have, chopped it up all during the day and even late at night, but like it's 2 a.m. So you're
Right.
not expect a response from me, and depending on my mood, I may reply, I may not. But I feel like to every rule there's an exception. So if I meet you and I'm dating you and I really like you and we just
Mm-hmm.
really like each other, I will reply to your text. You know what I mean? Because if we're on the phone having 4 or 5 hour conversations and it's just a vibe. If
Yeah.
we late at night, I'll text you back because I like
Yeah.
him. I like it when he texts me. But in general, I think it's important as a woman to set the
I
tone.
think it just depends on the seriousness of the person and if you really like them and if you
Mhm.
genuinely see a connection and just like how the conversation goes. Like I mean, hey, like I don't take it in a negative connotation that you just think I'm a slut or something. Like
I'm a night out too, and I just think sometimes a person's up and they're thinking about you. They just want to. So I'm with you on that.
Do you think it's easy to interpret through text if someone's interested or not interested? You don't
For
think
sure.
so, Kennedy?
For sure.
so
I'm with Natasha. I'm like, for sure. Why do you say no, Kennedy? I'm curious to hear this.
that's why I'm a FaceTimer and a going on a date type person because you can fill them out in person way more than you can fill them out over text. So
Mm-hmm.
like I can text something like, "Yeah, nah, I'm good," but you may
Okay.
interpret it as, "Oh, like what's going on? Like
Oh,
she
you
good?
good? Oh, you
Okay."
good? Right.
But the whole time I'm like,
You
"Yeah,
meant
nah, I'm
it.
good."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's kind of hard to interpret what a person is actually trying to communicate to you through text. I think you just kind of have to go based on the vibes that you have with that person in person. So because I know you, I know when you text me such and such that it's not anything negative. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yeah, some people are dry texters.
I
but I think
agree.
that's where the FaceTime part comes in.
That Kennedy let me know that her and her people don't really use emojis. Do that. But how do y'all feel about those type of things when dating? The memes, the emojis. Is it okay? Is it playful? Is it welcomed? Are you looking at them like they're corny?
I know I talk with a lot of emojis. I love a good TikTok reference too. It's always a new phrase every week. I'm a jokester, a part-time stand-up comedian myself. So I feel like I'm always joking. I do have a bias for TikTok references.
Like, what does that feel like for you, Kennedy?
I think it makes the conversation fun. Like, I love a good little TikTok reference and like the memes, like the videos and stuff. It makes it fun because now I know exactly what you're saying and how you're saying it. Even though
Okay.
I can probably connect it, even though if you just say it in a text message, but it really makes it fun. You're being funny, you're playful, and I'm that type of person. Like, I like to laugh, so you being playful with me over the phone, that doesn't make me think you as a cornball. You're funny. It gives me a taste of their personality too.
Do you feel like it's a good time to move from texting when you meet somebody to now talking on the phone?
I'm a talker. I don't like you if I think you're kind of dry. I won't like, call, but I think I absolutely need to connect with you via talking, and nothing can replace that.
I'm
So,
happy to hear that. I feel the same way. I didn't know if it was a age thing, but I'm a conversationalist, as you all know. And so I want to know what that vibe is like. And also, I feel I like to give grace to people because everybody is not a writer. Everybody doesn't do the best with texting. And sometimes the way you text or the broken way you talk and text, it can be not attractive sometimes. So I'd rather get on the phone with you to know what kind of talk you are, because I don't want to judge you based on what those texts come through looking like and the misspellings or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too hung up on that because it's very easy to get hung up on that.
250 words, one period.
Capital letters. All capital letters. So I like to get on that phone. I'm okay with texting like during the day. I'm a big texter. I don't have a problem with texting. And then Natasha put me on to something outside of text, but voice messages. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with them because now you can hear my voice, you know what I'm saying, you know just how I'm saying it, but it's still in text.
It's a good happy medium. I love to talk. I think talking to someone is important because you get to feel their energy. And I think the voice texts are a good happy medium because you can get a sense of the person better through the voice, and you can feel their emotions. You can be kind of silly and goofy.
Right. The only thing I don't like about it with my friends who are, I would say for the most part, very not aware of it. I think I only have one friend that I really do voice memos with. It disappears if you don't
You can
listen to it a certain amount of time. So I'm talking to people and it's too long for me to kind of text it. I'm in the middle of something, and so I'll leave a voice message and then they'll hit me back like, well, why you ain't say nothing? Or what? I'm like, I did. So now I have to do a habit of learning to keep it and hitting keep so that it stays so I can send it again. But I don't feel like for the average one of my friends use it, they're not into it at all. But I really love it. Ladies, well, there you have another discussion across the generations, enjoying each other's point of views, learning a little bit something along the way. And so to all our sippers out there, we hope that you've enjoyed it and learned something too. Until next time, Natasha and Kennedy, cheers.
Cheers.
Well, sippers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Text culture is something that is ever evolving, is here to stay. And if you're like me, we're going to keep learning. I'm still going to look into those TikToks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our resident Millennial and Gen Z, Natasha and Kennedy, for joining us today. Remember, links are in the description for my YouTube video for how I infuse those tequilas. You can also find a link to the Monchevre goat cheese as well as to my ornament ball that I was drinking out of today. Remember, life is too short for bad vibes and bad drinks. So keep sipping, keep chatting, and always remember, life is a journey, but it's better with a sip and a chat. Until next time, cheers. Thank you, sippers, for joining the S.E.T podcast where we sip, eat, talk. If you've enjoyed our flavorful conversations, don't miss out on future episodes. Subscribe now and follow us on Instagram, at YouTube, at Sip, Eat, Talk Podcast. Let's continue to sip, eat, and talk together. Until next time, cheers.